Hey everyone, Swampfox here. Time to talk about mages. Ultimately, for Legion, there aren't too many changes for mages. Sticking with the theme of making characters have more class identity. Arcane, Fire, and Frost have been pretty, distinct in classes. Arcane magic warps time and space. Fire magic is a destructive force, and Frost slows and controls enemies. Most of the changes are quality of life improvements and to improve like lower level game. One of these changes is the summon refreshment now automatically provides you with a stack of food if you're adventuring out on your own, or a table of refreshments when in party or in a raid. Alright, let's talk about Arcane. This is the class I'm least familiar with, but I'll do my best. Overall, it still looks like the rotation's the same. You build up stacks of the Arcane debuff. I forget what it's called, but instead of it being a debuff now, the resource is under your mana bar, similar to how Holy Power works, or Burning Embers. By casting Arcane Blast, you'll build these stacks and do more damage, make the mana cost more. Arcane Missiles is pretty much the same. They have, it's pretty much all the same. Really not a lot of changes. The Mastery, on the other hand, is kind of nice. This is new for Legion. Increases your mana regeneration rate and maximum mana by a set percentage, and Arcane Charges, that's what it's called, Arcane Charges, increase the damage of affected spells by an additional, X percentage. This is going to be really nice because it's going to be neat to see what a end level Arcane Mage can do. On to Arcane's talents. There's a bunch, but the ones that I thought were most notable and liked is Arcane Familiar. Summon a familiar that attacks your enemies and increases your maximum mana by 10%. So now, finally, Arcane gets its own little water elemental, which is kind of neat. And Supernova. Pulses arcane energy around the target enemy or ally, dealing 12k damage to all enemies within 8 yards and knocking them upward. A primary enemy target will take 100% increased damage. That is pretty sweet. Arcane didn't really have any sort of crowd control, so it would be neat to see that used in PvP or in raids. Alright, on to the fire spec. Overall, this hasn't changed too much. No, that's same with Arcane, but there has been a couple of improvements. Fireball is still your main cast. You can Hot Streak passive, 2 critical strikes in a row will cause your next Pyroblast and Flame Strike to be an instant cast. That is still roughly the same. Fire Blast always does a critical strike. Combustion, spell with a long cooldown that causes all your spells to deal critical strikes for a short amount of time. Obviously, you can use this in conjunction with Hot Streak to get off a couple of Pyroblasts for a lot of damage. And Scorch is still Scorch. You can cast it while moving, but it does little to no damage. On to the Fire Mage talents. There's about 10 or 12 of them. All are roughly the same with varying degrees of influence. There's not a lot to play with here. Most of it is passive, but the 2 talents that I like most are Pyromaniac. It's a new passive casting a Pyroblast or Flame Strike, while Hot Streak is active, has an 8% chance to instantly reactivate Hot Streak. This would be kind of cool to see that proc a few times. I realize that it's not exactly consistent damage, but you Pyroblast 4 times in a row, that man is dead. And the second one that I liked most was Cinderstorm. As a Frost Mage, I liked the Meteor Shower there, Frost Comet, yes. So this seems to be the fire equivalent. Throws a spread of 6 cinders that travel in an arc, each dealing 3.5k damage to the enemies it hits. Damage increased by 30% if the target is affected by Ignite. So just a little bit of burst. I always enjoyed hurling shit at people. All right, on to my favorite spec for Mage Frost. Overall, the rotation has been the same, but you'll notice a key spell missing, and that's Frostfire Bolt. Flurry has been replaced with this, and what that does is unleash a flurry of ice shards, striking the target 3 times for a total of 17k damage. Each shard reduces the target's movement speed by 70% for 1 second, so that's just another slow you have. Overall, you still spam Frostbolt and Ice Lance when it procs. Have your Summon Water Elemental, which is specific to Frost Mage. Fingers of Frost is still a passive. Frostbolt sometimes causes your next spell to treat the target as if it were frozen. And then Brain Freeze. Frostbolt sometimes causes Flurry to become an instant cast. That's kind of changed around Flurry. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you have anything you'd like to add, please leave it down below. I'll have more videos up before Legion and when Legion launch.